Yo guys, and welcome to another replay analysis. This is the ZvZ Nydus all-in video featuring Mr. Sapien here. If you guys want to check out more Nydus videos, I have a Terran one and a Protoss one as well. But we're doing a ZvZ one right now. And basically what we're going to do is we're going to help Sapien figure out a way to make his build a little bit more efficient than it already is. And we'll break it down and really get in depth about it. Yeah, okay. So just like the other videos we've looked at already, this build, it's a gas pool first. I do not like it for the purpose of a Nydus, because once again the reason why the TLDR reason why I do not like this is because it does not really change the timing of the Nydus that much, because this build is inefficient. And what it does do though is it makes your amount of units you are going to push with a lot smaller. You would have more units if you did the build more efficiently, and an efficient build would be a 17 hatch, 17 or an 18 pool, followed by a gas around 20 supply. The goal of the gas is you want to take it when the pool is about 50% of the way done. And I know people on my stream are probably like, ViBE, you keep saying the same thing over and over. I know, but this is also a YouTube video. So someone who's watching a YouTube video might see this for the first time and might not have seen the other ones. Okay, so this is going to be Speedlings being Nydus into his base. That's our first queen with our first inject. This Speedling all-in only has 18 Zerglings that are going to load into it immediately right now. Obviously more are going to finish during the process of the Nydus being built in the base. But we have 18 fucking links. That's not a whole lot. You can see we're already down by 12 supply. This is the efficiency we're talking about. And now, really quickly, we're just going to go ahead and see, does this guy, or does he have or not have a Baneling Nest? He does have a Baneling Nest. So if you remember, at the beginning of this video, I said there is 2 win conditions for playing like this. But if your opponent does not let either one of these happen, you auto lose. One win condition would be if this building just doesn't exist and it's just a bunch of drones and he's like getting ready to make roaches. Sure, this could work then. Another win condition of this build would be if this guy does have a Baneling Nest, but he uses it very poorly, which is exactly what we're seeing right here. Blue Zerg, the guy who's getting all in right now, only has 4 Zerglings. And all 4 of these Zerglings are currently in Red's base. He has 0 Zerglings at home defensively to defend this, and he also has 0 Zerglings in production because he's supply blocked. This is an absolute fail of a Baneling Nest. This is a late scout, and it resulted in him having a window where he just died. However, if there were like 4 if these were 4 Banes, okay? Let's just say this. These 4 Lings that run across the map, let's say these 4 Lings did this 20 seconds ago. Okay, look at this, look at this, look at this. Let's look at when he makes the Lings. Okay, he's got 4 Lings in production. Notice how these Lings are currently chilling, right? They're chilling out. These Lings started chilling around 247. They leave his base at 327. He literally, or he let the lings sit there for 40 seconds. Now, if those 40 seconds were utilized a lot sooner, and he would have ran down here, scouted nothing, scouted toward, like, he saw, you know, the fact that there is a bunch of lings that are slow, and then he goes, okay, even if the ramp is completely covered by Sapien, okay, he sees a fuckload of lings. Sapien would have to reveal this one way or another. Like, the fact that there's no drones here and no queen is also quite questionable. These lings could have seen this and also ran back home, because there's 40 seconds of time where he could have done that. And then when he's home now, he could go, let's make 4 Banes. If there were 4 Banes here and then he sees this in a second, which, you know, obviously he sees it. He's aware of the possibility of a Nydus worm because he has an Overlord over here. And it's not even patrolling over here. It's just stopped. It's like wanting to scout the area. 4 Banes right here, right now. This build doesn't do anything. If I'm blue right now and I'm currently making more Zerglings, because let's say I don't supply block, and I also have 4 Banelings that are currently waddling around, what do these lings do? They have about probably like let's just say they have like 15 seconds or something. Like I just started my lings before my lings spawn, but I have 4 Banes. Like, it just gets fucking... there's nothing you can do as the red Zerg here. If there were 4 Banes and 1 Bane blows up these lings, you would never obviously surround the queen if there were Banes here, but you would also not be able to really attack anything if there were Banes here, and it would buy me time to make more lings. And there is no Roach Warren, there's no Baneling Nest, there's no tech behind the fact that you just have a Nydus here. So there's nothing going on that's going to advance from this. It's just a bunch of lings without upgrades. So Banelings would just shit on this, like, super hard. Damn. But yeah. It's a build that Jesus. It's a build that, like, there's a lot of holes in it. In ZvZ, like, this build can work in ZvT and ZvP, but in ZvZ it does not. It does not. There is way too many hard counters to this that are standard in ZvZ. So yeah, in ZvZ, this is what I would recommend instead, okay? This is what I would recommend instead. In ZvZ, you should, especially on maps like this, where it's really easy to wall off, Roach Warren, Evo Chamber, Evo Chamber. You don't have to make it a full wall if you don't want. You could leave one little gap here with a queen to be inside of it. It looks like 2 builds then. It could either be like the Bronze GM style +1 roach speed timing, and you take a 3rd with it, eventually. Or, you just don't fully saturate your mineral line, and you could just fucking all in with a Nydus, and you don't even get roach speed. You just get a layer, and you go like 2 gases off of like 30 drones, or like 25 drones. We're talking like 6 drones on gas, and then somewhere between like 18 to 24 drones on minerals. You know, the less drones, obviously, the more all-in it is. Like, you might squeeze out an initial, like, 1 or 2 more roaches for the less drones you have, but it also does reduce the power of follow-up roaches that can keep coming afterwards. What I usually like to go for is about 30 drones. I like to have about, like 24 drones on the mineral line, and then 6 drones on the gas when I do it. And then, so you have, like, 12, 2 gas. And then you just make nothing but roaches and queens, and you Nydus them. And you don't get speed, you don't get +1 weapons, you don't get any upgrades. You just get a Nydus and you just flood them with roaches and queens. That build would be still very fast, and it would have way less counters than this one would. Because if your opponent builds a Baneling Nest and has Banelings defensively, it doesn't do anything to the Roach Queen one. Roach Queen still wins. The Roach Queen one basically kills everybody that makes too many drones. It's just better. And it's also harder to read, because here's the thing about your build. It's easy as fuck to read. If this guy, like I said a second ago with the 40-second thing, if he would have just scouted your natural, you're like telling him everything. You're like, hey, I'm Nydusing you. Hope you don't care. I have nothing in my natural. Don't mind it, though. Like, it's okay. Don't worry. Nothing fishy's happening. But with the other build, like when you do the wall-off thing with Roaches or Roach-Warren Evo Chamber, you don't actually know what it is. Because it could be multiple builds then. It's actually hard to read. And it's a build that will work better as you get higher ranks. Like, the biggest problem of all, Sapien, with all of these builds, this exact build you did in every matchup, is this build will not work versus somebody who knows what they're doing. It won't work. Because it is so easy to scout. And it's because you're just cutting every corner. So like it's just super easy to scout. Anyways, yeah. Just to give you one more, I don't know if I don't know if I gave like a full thorough recap of the build though, but the build I would recommend you do, like if you're gonna do the Roach Queen thing I said, 16 hatch, 17 pool. Gas, once again, when your pool's at 50%, which will be around, if you do a 17 pool, it'll be either 19 or 20. And then you go into queen, immediate layer. You make all your drones, or all your larvae into drones. Literally all larvae goes into drones. You can make 2 lings if you want, like 1 larva of lings, and you can go scout across the map with them if you really want to. You don't necessarily need to, because you're all-inning anyways. So who gives a shit? I would say you don't even need to do that. Just make all drones. And then your overlord should be able to tell you, you know, what's going on and if you need to build a spine or something if you're getting all in. But yeah, and then what you do is while your queen is injecting the main and it's currently becoming a layer, your natural should also be constantly producing queens. And as soon as you can afford it, this is the priority. Okay? This is the priority. Your layer starts as soon as possible when you have the properly timed gas and all that stuff. Your larva is also spent as fast as you can. And then as soon as you have a moment to spare where you know, you can't really spend any more larva because you've spent it all already, you throw the wall down. Because what you should aim for is you should aim for your Roach Warren to be finishing roughly like 15 seconds after your layer is done. Because it does not matter if your layer is done and you already are making roaches then that are like just sitting here. The real thing you're waiting for is you want your roaches to be done by the time the Nydus is done. And it's not even the Nydus entrance, it's the Nydus exit. So you have a lot of time. You can delay the Roach Warren a little bit if you really have to really spin that larva. You don't have to rush the Roach Warren as fast as you fucking can. Unless this guy is literally doing like a speedling all-in with like 1 base. And your overlord will tell you that. Because you have, a Roach Warren's only like a 46-second build time. Or sorry, it's 39. Then you have a Nydus Worm, which is a 36-second build time. So a Roach Warren and a Nydus themselves are about the same build time. And then you also have the exit of the Nydus, which is like a 15 or a 10-second build time, 14-second. You could even build your Roach Warren when your layer is at like 60% of the way done or 70% of the way done, and you would still have roaches in time to get into his base right as the Nydus finishes, if you did the Nydus as fast as possible. And you also take the second gas, by the way. You take the second gas as soon as you hit perfect saturation. And the perfect saturation is 30 drones. So 12, 12, 6 gas. So as soon as you hit 30 drones, you would make a drone into an extractor, make 1 more drone to replace that drone, and then saturate that extractor as soon as you can. And then you're done. That's the whole build. That's all of it. for the all-in version of it. Anyways, guys, this is the ZvZ all-in critique replay analysis. Once again, thank you to Sapien for doing another one. And good luck to you, man. And good luck to everyone else who's going to use these builds yourself. Yeah, man. Go all in the crap out of everybody. Sounds good. Make everyone mad like this guy was over here. Alright. Thank you for watching, guys. Go check out more of my videos if you liked it. I have a lot more of these. These 3 all-in ones, these 3 Nydus ones are really, really quick and brief because these games were so short. And there's not a whole lot we can talk about. Because these builds are literally designed to end the game the second the attack starts. This is supposed to literally end the game. So yeah, like it's really all about the build at that point, which is pretty basic for the most part. Anyways, thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you in the next one. Peace, everybody. Bye. Bye.